Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Adult Coloring with ILene Vick, and I hope that you find this a really interesting video. This is super fun for me to show you this. What I'm basically going to do is show you how to create a steampunk background. And I think that that's going to be a really neat, there's some straightforward steps. It takes a couple of stencils, no biggie, nothing complex, and you'll have a great little piece. All right, so the piece that I'm working out of, or excuse me, the piece that I'm working on is this. And as you can see, I've already colored it, but I left 3/4 of the, or a quarter of the border open so I can show you the rest. I'm going to show you how I did the clouds, and then I'm going to show you how I finish this off into steampunk. The picture itself is from 101 Animals to Color. This particular version of it has several steampunk images in it, which are fun. So I think you'd, oh, isn't that too stinking cute? Yeah, I love that. Just makes me smile and laugh every time. You can see I've already started it. But yeah, there are some great images in here. Anyway, so this is the book that it's from. And I'm going to walk you through this. It is very straightforward, nothing complex. And you know by now that I'm not going to show you something that's going to cause you any problems. All right. So the first thing I'm going to look at is how I, obviously I colored in the steampunk on the fish. And if you want to see how I did that, I already did that on my Facebook group, Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. You got to add teaching to that. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. And I'm going to see if I can create the link to this. But if you do go into the comments section and you're not a member of my group on Facebook, then just click the link, become a member, and you will see the coloring I did for this. Now, that brings me to another topic. I do live colorings, and that means I just plop down and I color. It may be a half hour, it may be a couple hours. I mean, you don't have to watch the whole thing, but we have fun with that because people come in and out and we talk and laugh and, share information and help each other. And several of my ladies will grab whatever they're coloring on and do the coloring. So it's a lot of fun. All right, so I colored this, did the steampunk. I explained how I did the rusty and the stained glass look on the fins plus the metal on the fins, and then the clouds. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the clouds. And the way I did those is I have a couple of templates. I'm a wuss when it comes to drawing. I mean, I'm just not an artist. So I want to show you how I put together a couple of these clouds. Just take your eyeshadow. Let me pull you in. Pick the blue that you want or whatever color that you want. And this is so cool. It really is. Get your brush. Boom. You got a beautiful cloud. And if you have a little bit too much here, you just erase that off. And if you want a little more white in the center, no biggie, you just erase that. And that's how that rolls. Isn't that neat? You pull you in. I don't want you to be afraid of clouds. Honestly, I've seen tutorials about, tearing paper and, using the color along the torn edge, which is fine. I've done that. But, bottom line, why not just do a simple template? You can do varied colored clouds if you want. Let me grab my other template. Erase this little extra here. So go to Amazon, do yourself a favor, get the template, you're good to go. All right, so let me do one more little poofy. There you go. All sorts of colors available. I mean, just a ton that you can do. Now, the really neat thing is, and we're not quite done yet with the fun, is you can take a brown or gold pencil. Let me pick a color here. Eyeshadow works beautifully with colored pencil. I want you to watch this. Look how you can enhance your cloud. And you can do the same thing with a blue. Now mind you guys, I'm doing this relatively quickly. And that's not the bright blue. In fact, let me show you how easy this is to erase. See, that comes off, just about all of it. And you can go ahead and color. You can round this to enhance the shapes of your clouds. Look how beautifully that comes out. Okay, so that's a really quick down and dirty look what you can do with stencils and colored pencils. Okay, let me pull this out. All right, go ahead and put my eyeshadow away, because knowing me, I'll get my mitts into it while I'm trying to do my other work, and that won't serve anybody's purposes. All right, so again, Amazon. Just do a search on cloud stencils and you'll find these, okay? So there's that. Oops. All right, so bringing this page in, you can see where I did the cloud shapes. Did a little bit of enhancement with it. Now, I gotta tell you, this paper is not the best, and that's why you get the spottiness on here, but I don't mind too much because it just makes for interesting patterns on the clouds. So, basically, it is what it is. But look how I can take this lighter blue and enhance this little puff of a cloud. That's what I want you to get excited about. Okay. So let me pull out. And the way this background was, it was a simple double line border. That's all that was here, was this double line border right here, and it was not colored in. So I went ahead and I colored it in black all the way around because I wanted that nice pickup of the things that I had colored black. You can see the gears I colored and shaded to make it look metal. This was a riot to do. I loved it. All right, then I took a stencil and this is from a stencil pack on Amazon, and if you followed me, I used this on the Kirby Roseanne's, which was the cat, Sphinx cat, and I put the background, no, I lied, no, that was it, yeah, I used it on that one, and I also used it on the Chinese stacking dolls too. So wonderful, wonderful. Pack of 50. I bought 3 packs. Like I said, I will make it a point to get the links to the bottom of my video, and then you can choose the ones you like. But see, I've got them in Ziploc bags now, and there's like 3 of them. So absolutely love them. All right. So what I did is I took the stencil and I took my black pen and I went through and I, first colored this bar in. Okay, let me pull you down. So I colored the bar in, and then what I did is I centered the stencil on each corner, and then I went across and put these in. Now I had to adjust a little bit because the spacing on the stencil was a little bit different than the spacing on the paper, but that's okay, it's not going to really show up. So then what I did is I took my pen, which is my Pilot pen. Let me get my largest one. and went ahead and colored my little patterns. Now, think about this. If you have gel pens, not pans, gel pens, this would be perfect for something like this. If you have metallic pens, this would be perfect for that. If you have glitter pens, I'm trying to give you all sorts of ideas. So instead of making the outline in black, which you can, and then fill with whatever pen color you want, or you make your outline in whatever your pen color is. And you can see how quickly this goes. But you need to be careful, because if you color your border first black and then decide that you're going to make your little leafy things or flower things a different color, you're screwed, because the black is going to run through. So just be aware of what, order that you do that in. And I'll tell you what, guys, with these black pens, it comes out drop dead gorgeous. This project has been so fun to do. This SteamPunk has turned out so well, I'll tell you. Let me show you another project real quick that I'm working on. I do live coloring in my Facebook group, and we've been doing this piece. And that's been a lot of fun as well. That's from this book, Creative Haven SteamPunk Fashion Coloring Book. So, fun with that. Mostly Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on this puppy. I showed people how to do rusty pipes, and I showed people how I do skin and hair. All right. Alrighty. Take your time when filling in with your pen, of course. And again, this fish was done in my live color. I do the live coloring in my Facebook group, Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Like I said, I just pop on there, I grab my project, I live color, and whoever pops in, they watch, we talk. People ask me questions, I ask them questions, we have a good time. Now, this paper is very thin. See, you can see these coming through. So that's pretty disappointing. But when you know what your paper is, you deal accordingly. Okay. So let me pull out and show you where I am with this. Doesn't that look neat? And by the way, guys, I wanted to tell you again how glad I am to be back. I'm hoping now that my videos frequency will pick up. Because as you know, I told you I tore, well, I pulled a ligament in my right knee. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Terrible. Okay, so now I'm going to steampunk the background. I mean, obviously this is already steampunk, but you know, with steampunk, there's lots going on with it. So this ought to be fun. All right, so let me change the perspective just a little bit so you can see this. All right, as you know, I basically work with 3 pens. And if you follow me, you know this. I've always recommended that you have them. It's a very fine line. Then I've got my medium line, and then I've got my thicker line. And I use these all the time on my different coloring books to add things and change and the whole bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the lines. Let me change the light so you don't have some awful glare. And I'm going to use my medium pen. And I've got my large triangle here. It's clear, but you can see it. Okay. And here's what I want you to see, because this is the neat part. So from the lower right-hand corner, I'm going to start a splay of lines. Down and through this. Now, I'm immediately seeing that that line is not going to be heavy enough. So I'm going to go back. Excuse me a moment while I repair this. Change my camera. There we go. Now, as I'm drawing these lines, keep in mind that you're going to be going through eyeshadow, okay? So you want to make sure that you're starting from the same point. Let me do it this way. And now I'm going to draw my line from there to there through my eyeshadow and down there. Now, on this particular piece, I hope I didn't accidentally take you off camera. That line goes through the silly butterfly, which took me a while to figure out what this was. There we go. Now, these lines do not have to be equal distant. And that's the fun part of the steampunk. Just make sure that they originate from the same point and the same dot. Isn't that cool? Look how cool that's starting to come out. And it's totally up to you how you want to choose the spacing of the lines. If you want them equal, have at it. But you can see how neat this is starting to come out here. Now, when you lay down your line, look at what it's going to cross to make sure that you're happy with that. And I'm thinking that we're getting somewhat close to how many lines we want. Look how cool that looks, guys. And if you want to add some additional interest to it, again, totally your design, totally up to you. And I'm thinking that that is the proper amount of lines right there. I don't want to add any more. So I want you to look at that now. Hopefully this gives you some ideas. Let me move my light. And you can see how that looks. If that doesn't look steampunkish, I don't know what does. So, simple stencil, colored that in, used the stencil for the few clouds, had already colored the fish, steampunk, the metal, metallic, and then went in and added the lines. So I hope this gives you some ideas. I hope you learned something and you had fun with it. And like I said, you want to go to Teaching Adult Coloring. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Voice broke. Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick on Facebook. And you can watch how I colored this in my live sessions. Really had some fun on this one. Alright guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Hope you learned something. Hope you had fun. Any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Take care. Bye-bye now.